So before we get into this video, consider checking out my filmography. You can do so. Check out the link tree down below. It would mean the world to me. I would love you guys to see my work. Also, if you guys want to subscribe, that would also mean a lot to me as well. Hit that like button. I'm always looking to meet with other filmmakers and collaborators. Also, Pesadilla will be coming out soon on Blu-ray and streaming, so I'll tell you guys more about that later, but let's go ahead and get into the video. It seems like this is another film that I don't really hear many people talking about, and that's very strange because I feel like this would be a film a lot of people would go see, especially people that are familiar with Saturday Night, which is like everybody. Especially older people, which most of my theater, there was a lot of, well, I don't want to say there's a lot of older people in there, but there were definitely older people in the theater. And again, there was a lot of people in it, and I think this film has been out for about a week now. I am very late to the party, but I did want to talk about it just because I feel like nobody else is talking about it. It stars Corey Michael Smith as Chevy Chase. I'm looking up here because there's actually a lot of people. Ella Hunt, Gabriel LaBelle, man, I don't know how to pronounce that. No, I'm not going to try. Finn Wolfhard is in it. He doesn't have too big of a role. Nicholas Braun from Succession fame. Cooper Hoffman is in it, and J.K. Simmons. I love seeing J.K. Simmons actually probably has one of the more standout performances in this. Willem Dafoe is in it, and Lamorne Morris. It's directed by Jason Reitman. I'm not really too familiar with his work. I've only seen a couple of the things. Have not seen the new film. No, wait, yes I have. I've seen Ghostbusters Afterlife. What the heck? I have not seen Ghostbusters Frozen Empire yet. I don't know if I don't know. We'll see. And what Saturday Night is about is it's about the crew for Saturday Night Live, Saturday Night, essentially planning their first show and all the turmoil that happened before then. So the film is sort of in real time, except for the cuts that come after, the time, like it'll say 10:15, 10:30. And it's very well paced. This is actually an extremely well paced film. It's an hour and 49 minutes. It goes by really fast. Like I said, the execution is done really, really well. I liked it. I don't know if I can necessarily say that I loved it, but I definitely really, really, really enjoyed it. There were some parts that didn't work for me, but again, it's not really anything worth bringing up because other people might enjoy it. I did feel like the pacing was a little bit off towards the end, but one thing that I really appreciate about the film is its pacing. This film is lightning speed. The whole film, the whole entire film is just electrifying. It is. There's no stopping, there's no room to breathe, and that's the whole point because you're watching these characters go through a lot in the span of an hour and 49 minutes because they're essentially showing their new show on live television. There was an interesting point which I'm really glad that they brought up in this because I actually do have a little bit of experience in this. Actually, last night I worked a show that was sort of similar. I did the dress rehearsal, but they were talking about if they couldn't do the show live, they could just show the dress rehearsal, which I thought was very cool that they brought up because I know how hard it is to film one of these things. I mean, I've never done a live show like that, of course, but I mean, even yesterday doing the dress rehearsal, there was 3 cameras. We had to monitor the audio. We had to monitor 3 cameras. It's a whole lot of work, and I couldn't imagine something like this, how stressful it might be. Now, Gabriel LaBelle, he's the lead. He's the main character, although he's not top billed on here, which is kind of strange. If you're not familiar with who he was in The Fabelmans, I believe. He is probably my favorite. He's definitely the standout because whenever he's excited, he looks very excited. Whenever he looks scared, he looks really scared. The film has this really nice 70s sort of grain to it, which is, I've seen it done in other films, but for this film in particular, it just looked extremely natural. Like it looked very pleasing to the eyes, and the set design, the costumes, all of that stuff was great. Trying to see who played John Belushi. Matt Wood. Let me see what else he's been in. It is literally just saying Saturday Night and Law and Order. Okay, cool. The actor that played John Belushi, he was also one of my favorites as well in it. This is just a nice, funny, enjoyable film. There's nothing else more for me to say about it. I've been hearing it's got a lot of Oscar potential. I don't necessarily see any of the performances, which I'm horrible at predicting Oscar stuff, so please do not take my Oscar predictions serious. I'm just going by what I've heard other people say that are pretty well known in the Oscar prediction space, I guess you could say. But I don't really see any performances getting nominated just because this year is already so stacked. I don't think original score would get it. The only nominees that I could see this getting, which I know people are saying it could get Best Picture, and it very much so possibly could, like especially if it gets Best Editing, nomination for Best Editing, if it gets a nomination for Best Costume Production, which I could definitely see it maybe getting. But other than that, I don't really know what else I would give the film. There's definitely people that are ride or die with this film. I've heard a lot of people talk about this film in the festival circuit, and it is worth the watch. Like, I do think that this film, you will most likely enjoy it. I do think, I really don't see anybody not liking the film, if I'm being honest. It's just overall, it's just a very it's just overall a very well-rounded film. I enjoyed it. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up, maybe subscribe. Sorry I'm late. I just wanted to talk about the film. Really, I wouldn't even have done this video. I just wanted to, just so that way, if anybody sees it, they might go out and see the film, because I do think it's worth the watch. Like I said, it's just a nice little crowd-pleasing film. And I do think that it is very funny. It had some pretty funny moments in it. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.